Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Sunday, April 18th, at 3:26 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 556 headlines from 108 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. U.S. and China commit to tackling climate crisis with seriousness and urgency it demands. A Minnesota man attacked a store employee over a mask policy, then dragged a police officer with his vehicle and struck him with a hammer, police say. Father, daughter die in early morning fire in Oakland. Jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny could die any minute, doctors warn. World War II airplane makes emergency landing in surf off a Florida beach. Coronavirus latest news, vaccine immunity won't just disappear with variants. One dead a week after raid inside unlicensed Rosenberg Group home, police say. Super typhoon's Yuragi rapidly intensifies to a Cat 5 near Philippines. California mass shooting suspect was barred from bond. Defense expert in Derek Chauvin trial faces Maryland lawsuit. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. A tale of two car makers, GM and Toyota take different electric roads in China, Reuters. Police on scene of possible active shooter reported Summers house, Kenosha News. Jake Paul destroys Ben Askren in first round knockout, New York Post. Portland police declare unlawful assembly after protesters gather at East Precinct, Cat2. More drama for Los Angeles Dodgers San Diego Padres series, this time with Clayton Kershaw and Mookie Betts, ESPN. Robert Whittaker, it's about time we cross paths again. UFC Vegas 24 post-fight interview, UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship. Founder of Adobe and developer of PDFs dies at age 81, Fox Business. Live updates, protesters take to the streets Saturday night over police shootings, Fox News. Putin critic Alexei Navalny could die at any moment, doctor says, NPR. Grace and grief as Prince Philip is laid to rest, New York Post. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Indianapolis mass shooter legally purchased two assault-style guns despite FBI concerns. Taxpayers still funding Trump's court battle against rape accuser. Western states prepare for possible water shortage declarations. Cook County prosecutor on leave over false statements about boy shot by police. Marjorie Taylor Greene backs off extremist America First caucus after backlash. Doctors in Brazil report intubating patients without sedatives due to shortages. Here's how Meghan Markle paid tribute to Prince Philip. Taylor Swift addresses the rumors her cat is missing or lost. The most moving photos from Prince Philip's funeral. Mega producer Scott Rudin will step back from Broadway over abuse allegations. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. U of M finds farmers in an Iraq-ordered crop yield. Floor collapses during massive house party. Nurses feel they're being forced to get vaccine. Jury recommends max sentence in Kyler Yu's trial. Man accused of allowing drug house gatherings. Woman killed by boyfriend in shooting at hotel. Lawsuit, casino overserved suspect before crash. Electrical fire at O'Hare International Airport. Racist sign left at Democratic Party of Arkansas headquarters. Local restaurants struggling to hire employees. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Pennsylvania cases rise sharply as travel resumes and variants spread. One American news network stays true to Trump. Afghan women fear the worst, whether war or peace lies ahead. The Free World explains how culture heated up during the Cold War. George Floyd, Indianapolis, spring migration, your weekend briefing. How the tiny kingdom of Bhutan out-vaccinated most of the world. The Oscars are a week away, but how many will watch? FedEx gunman bought 2 rifles after police seized his shotgun, chief says. I have read thousands of resumes, and I have some advice. Despite tensions, US and China agree to work together on climate change. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Wisconsin shooting at Kenosha Lakeside bar leaves 3 dead, reports. Janice Dean, Cuomo, COVID and the anniversary of my mother-in-law's death, why this week was so hard. Ohio riverboat barge collision after Louisville fireworks show leaves 1 dead, 2 missing, reports. Indianapolis Sikh community calls for gun reforms after FedEx shooting. Sacramento police officers hospitalized after protesters sprayed them with a known irritant. Hooters girl Madison Novo says childhood health battle inspired her to give back, it really changes you. Couple lost a staggering 432 pounds to become parents after struggling to conceive for 7 years. Maxine Waters urges Minnesota anti-police crowd to stay on the street if Chauvin acquitted in Floyd case. Houston facility for migrant girls 13-17 abruptly shuttered amid crowding concerns, employee death, reports. Adam Toledo shooting, Chicago prosecutor placed on leave over statement on whether teen had gun in hand. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Sunday, April 18th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Stimulus check latest, is a 4th relief payment coming? Tom Brady jokes that his NFL career can now legally drink alcohol. Colorado paid $19 million in fraudulent unemployment claims during COVID-19 pandemic. Prince Philip funeral, how to watch, stream CBS coverage. Peaky Blinders star Helen McCrory dies at 52. Got coke? Jose Espinosa called Long Island medical facility looking for lost drugs, police say. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Damian Lewis pays heartfelt tribute to his wife Helen McCrory after she passed away aged 52. Teenager, 18, drowned on waterlogged Parkland after taking ecstasy, as dealer jailed 3 years. Shane Warne opens up about raising his kids as a single parent and why he doesn't go out anymore. Prince William requested Peter Phillips stand between him and Harriet Phillips' funeral. Elite Hollywood school where parents say white children are taught they are all racists. Daughter of Holocaust survivor recalls how family was hidden by Duke of Edinburgh's mother. Brain teaser challenges puzzlers to find corgi in garden scene, but can you find it? Prince Harry returns to Frogmore Cottage after Prince Philip funeral ahead of Walk with Charles. Rescue Terrier Cross Frankie's incredible transformation trim after being abandoned by owner. Royal Ballet star choreographer Liam Scarlett, 35, dies suddenly. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. Magnitude 5.9 earthquake strikes southwestern Iran. Montenegro mortgaged itself to China, now it wants Europe's help to cut it free. Germany promises help for local staff amid Afghan withdrawal. Kremlin critic Navalny's daughter pleads for her imprisoned father be allowed to see his doctor amid mounting health concerns. Ontario retracts new restrictions that drew the ire of many. Myanmar junta pardons prisoners to attend regional summit. Japanese leader asks Pfizer for additional vaccine supply. Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, laid to rest. Image of Queen Elizabeth II sitting alone at Philip's funeral breaks hearts around the world. Iran state television names suspect in Natanz nuclear facility attack. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Ricky Lee Jones, I had lived volumes long before I was famous. She survived Hurricane Sandy, then climate gentrification hit. David Remnick, there is no vaccine for climate change. Lava in a cold climate, Icelanders rush to get wet at volcano site. Billy Wilder, from poor Austrian journalist to Hollywood superstar. Nigella Lawson, I can be ecstatically happy with just bread and cheese. Being trans is not something you put on and take off, it's part of who you are. Your peak can be at any point, the female gymnasts defying age barriers. New York deserves better than Andrew Cuomo's towering folly. Rowan Moore. The big picture, color, comedy and coincidence in London. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. After outcry, Biden plans to lift refugee cap in May. Adam Toledo remembered by family as kind, funny teen in wake of fatal police shooting. Floor collapses during huge party near University of Georgia. Iran names suspect in Natanz attack, says he fled country. Video shows Asian woman robbed at gunpoint in San Francisco. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. China and U.S. pledge climate change commitment. Russia-Ukraine conflict, fact-checking Russian TV's Ukraine claims. Cindy Van Zyl, the people's doctor who revealed her own struggles. J.D. Vance, Trump whisperer turned Senate hopeful. India's first intimacy coordinator helps choreograph sex on screen. COVID in Brazil, hunger worsens in city slums. These teenage climate activists are pushing for change in Australia. How cancer put me off joining Amazon Union. The Zurich students living cheaply in a luxury hotel. Regulator warns against use of Peloton treadmill. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Family of Indianapolis FedEx shooter apologizes, we tried to get him the help he needed. Police in Minnesota round up journalists covering protest, force them on the ground and take pictures of their faces. Tight-knit Sikh community in shock over shooting. Captain of the lift boat that overturned off Louisiana remembered as one of the best. Highlights of funeral service for Prince Philip. Vigils planned for 8 victims of Indianapolis FedEx shootings. Police say 19-year-old gunman who died by suicide was a former employee. Silence and gun salutes for Duke of Edinburgh. Canada honors Duke with memorial and gun salute. Man arrested in shooting of Bob Evans waitress had history of domestic violence. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Hundreds gather in Hollywood for march and candlelight vigil against police brutality. Los Angeles County sees lowest COVID-19 daily test positivity rate since pandemic began. Mother unraveled in depression, QAnon-style conspiracies in months before she killed 3 kids. West Hollywood debuts pedestrian zone along Robertson Boulevard. Hate crimes against Asian Americans in LA more than doubled last year, Los Angeles Police Department reports. Dr. Drew-eyed for Homeless Commission, angering advocates who wonder, is this a joke? Oakland protest against police brutality ends with multiple fires set, property damage. Lopez, he went from Yale, to Wall Street, to homelessness, now he's rising back up. Apps help theme parks boost their COVID safety and collect data on you. Save the ArcLight Hollywood and its Cinerama Dome, just as they are. No remake required. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Sunday, April 18th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. U.S. deports woman who lied about role in Rwandan genocide. A Category 5 super typhoon Yuragi now peaks at 190 miles per hour and 888 millibars, becoming the most intense April tropical cyclone on record, heading further northwest across the Philippine Sea. French President Emmanuel Macron says international community must draw clear red lines with Russia. Researchers have extracted Neanderthal DNA from cave dirt. Here's what it tells us. Opponents of Myanmar's junta announced a national unity government on Friday, including ousted members of parliament and leaders of anti-coup protests and ethnic minorities, saying their aim was to end military rule and restore democracy. U.S. and China agree to take joint climate action. UK warships to sail for Black Sea in May as Ukraine-Russia tensions rise. Philippines, giant clamshells worth $25 seized in raid. Escaped girls tell of insurgents' mass abductions in Mozambique. Super typhoon Yuragi rapidly intensifies to a Cat 5 near Philippines. 42 migrants dead after boat from Yemen capsizes off Djibouti coast. COVID-19, in Brazil, young people have become the variant's prime targets. U.S. orders diplomats to leave Chad as rebels near capital. Russia sanctions 8 U.S. officials and expels diplomats in retaliation for Biden's actions. MPs condemn grotesque revelations that Uyghur workers are sold online in China. The next headlines are from Forbes. Luxury brands are betting their future on China, but it may be a risky gamble. Do published website accessibility rankings help organizations perform better? Bill Maher rants about COVID-19 coronavirus. Here are the issues with what he said. More Republican lawmakers tout COVID relief funds they voted against. The 10 best movies to stream on Netflix before they disappear at the end of April. Jake Paul vs. Ben Askren live results, odds, purses, prediction, video. Energy trounced all other sectors in the first quarter. Putin critic Navalny could die in prison in a matter of days, spokesperson says. Marjorie Taylor Greene calls off America First caucus following backlash. Breaking down what the NFL's sportsbook agreements mean, now and for the future. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Author correction, synthesis and breakdown of universal metabolic precursors promoted by iron. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,699,417,921 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time, and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. How It Feels to Be Free Review, a captivating documentary salute to Cicely Tyson, Lena Horne, Nina Simone, and other black female stars who blazed the trail. Sound of Metal and Soul take top prizes at 2021 Cinema Audio Society Awards. Black Rob, rapper and former Bad Boy artist, dies at 51. Sportscaster Joe Buck to guest host Jeopardy! Stars glam squads get back to work as red carpet makes somewhat of a return. Trial of the Chicago 7 Feet triumphs at SETI Awards. Oscar producers vague on role of face masks, will use satellite hookups for remote nominees. CNN gets ready for new era at New Day. I love McKinnon on breaking free of industry politics, being gay in hip-hop and when things soured with Drake. Dominic Purcell says he's walking away from Legends of Tomorrow, but will return periodically. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. For some Americans, getting a vaccine is as easy as showing up to work. Quiet no more, Senator Hirono's immigrant journey fuels her fire in Congress. Putin critic Alexei Navalny could die at any moment, doctor says. $25 million worth of giant clamshells seized in the Philippines. SpaceX wins $2.9 billion contract for next lunar lander. Producer Scott Rudin steps back from Broadway following allegations of bullying. Indianapolis Sikh community mourns 4 of its members killed in shooting. Global COVID-19 deaths top 3 million. Prince Philip is memorialized in an intimate funeral ceremony. What can wealthy nations do to address global vaccine inequity? The following headlines are from The Week. The shrinking post-pandemic wedding. Longtime minor leaguer returns to MLB in historic 13 seasons after last appearance. Athletes at low risk of heart inflammation post-COVID-19 infection, study finds. Congress is in the midst of its longest stretch without a publicly confirmed positive COVID-19 test. Prince Philip remembered for unwavering loyalty at intimate funeral. Why NASA chose SpaceX to build its lunar lander. Cuba's new leaders won't have historical legacy as a shield in post-Castro world, scholar says. 10 things you need to know today, April 17, 2021. Global COVID-19 death toll eclipses 3 million. The week's best photojournalism. The next headlines are from Universe Today. SpaceX has given up trying to catch rocket fairings, fishing them out of the ocean is fine. When stars get too close to each other, they cast out interstellar comets and asteroids. You thought black hole event horizons looked strange? Check out binary black hole event horizons. Astronauts will soon be getting a space fridge, keeping everything cold in 0G. These are the news headlines for today, Sunday, April 18th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Moon and Gemini stars on April 18th and 19th. Before and after of asteroid Bennu sample site. The next news is from Politico. Biden's first 100 days. Totally unfair, Biden denounces Russia over Navalny. Biden plays first round of golf as president. Prince Philip is laid to rest as somber queen sits alone. FBI says it interviewed FedEx mass shooter last year. Iran names suspect in Natanz attack, says he fled country. Opinion how the Supreme Court helped create driving while black. North Carolina primary field builds, with or without Lara Trump. Post-pandemic boom poised to get smacked with severe shortages. Data gap threatens to complicate Johnson & Johnson vaccine pause. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Photos, news in the Sydney Morning Herald. As it happened AFL 2021, Cats outlast Roos as Dangerfield tweaks ankle, Demons start 5-0, Crows lose to Dockers. Cats are hardly purring, Geelong banks the points, but with plenty to work on. D's face selection squeeze, Hawks set to replace Patton in mid-season draft. NRL considers stricter rules for taking players off for head knocks. There was no tomorrow, the rare disease that claimed Marsh's life. Ahmed Fahir's Latitude finally ready to make its ASX debut. Bulldogs head off for first time in 14 years as Cowboys break back-to-back win drought. Buzz is coming back to Melbourne, weekend foot traffic nears pre-pandemic level. 4 points, Blues lacking, a green captain, primetime AFLW. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Newswatch, stocks are at all-time highs and the U.S. economy is booming, so why is everyone so freaked out? International Living, here are the 10 best places in the world to retire. Retirement hacks, whether you're 55 or 25, do this to secure your future Social Security benefits. International Living, the 5 most affordable Caribbean islands to retire to, and 2 to avoid. The Moneyest, my parents made my sister executor of their $4 million estate, and joint owner of their bank accounts, should I be worried? Should you convert your IRA to a Roth if Biden's infrastructure plan passes? The Moneyest, my husband doesn't get along with my son, I brought most of the wealth into our marriage, how do I split my estate? More airlines fill middle seats, in direct opposition to CDC's own advice on reducing COVID-19 exposure. The Moneyest, my fiancé's mother asked us to raise her 2 kids, as we live in a good school district and she has a gambling addiction, then she claimed their stimulus checks. Ask the Dow, here's what the 30 Dow Industrials companies are saying about new voting restrictions. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. ITC ban sparks $1.8 billion trade secret deal, Department of Justice IEEE policy moves spook step owners, Brazil IP law suspension, F patent analysis, China crypto IP battle, and much more. I am Constable, from atomic bomb to solar power, Downers Grove scientist always innovates, Daily Herald. Cardiff School District students advance to 2021 Virtual California Invention Convention, Encinitas advocate. Why the patent classification system needs an update, IPWatchdog.com. Effective intellectual property and patent system attracts investment. Times of Oman. Science fiction, Hugo Gernsback and his electronic inventions, Explica.co, Explica. Smartly dressed, researchers develop clothes that sense movement via touch, Big Think. Do you actually own the IP generated by your Canadian employees, JD Supra? The next headlines are from Quartz. Why investors cannot get enough of Africa's debt. Africa debt appetites, Maggot Hub, startup expansion. The era of subsidies for wind and solar may be ending far too soon. Reddit grows up on its way to an IPO. Max Levchin on how a firm plans to survive the land grab and buy now pay later. How new discoveries in West Africa could rewrite prehistory. Weekend edition, what's next for Amazon workers, Edgar Snow, Zoom backgrounds. The following headlines are from TechDirt. This week in TechDirt history, April 11th 17th. PlayStation Y2K-like battery bug about to become a problem as Sony shuts down check-in servers. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Robert Whittaker. Jeremy Stevens. Oscar de la Hoya. Frank Mir. America vs. Cruz Azul. Joe Fournier. Black Rob. Liberty University, Jerry Falwell Jr. Athletic Club vs. Barcelona. Stuart Sink. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. U.S.-backed coup plot involving assassination of Belarusian president, other officials foiled by Minsk and Moscow. No hurry to open borders, Australian PM signals essential travel restrictions might be eased only in second half of 2021. China's back on gold buying spree, opens borders to $8.5 billion worth of shiny metal, reports. Oregon may indefinitely extend controversial mask mandate as other states begin to ease COVID-19 restrictions. West must penalize anti-Muslim hate just like it outlawed Holocaust denial, Pakistani PM Khan says amid anti-French riots. Bitcoin crashes 15% as global regulators hesitate to greenlight crypto for commercial use. They both suck. Jake Paul destroys ex-UFC star Ben Askren on widely mocked Wild Day for boxing featuring Justin Bieber video. Russian e-commerce giant Wildberries launches sales in U.S. We've got to get more confrontational. Rep. Maxine Waters shows up in Brooklyn Center, slams curfew and leaves before it kicks in. 3 kids or more, Chinese researchers called to abandon birth limits to ensure immigration-fed U.S. cannot outperform Beijing by 2050. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. The political economy of fear. Watch, Sikorsky's S-97 Raider performs impressive first flight demo. Canadian cops refuse to enforce Ontario's new police state COVID lockdown laws. Fentanyl is here, Las Vegas suffers 200% surge in overdose deaths. The plutocrats of Wall Street and Silicon Valley are scamming America. Taco Bell opens digital-only location in Times Square that serves alcohol. Black Lives Matter activist charged with anti-Asian hate crime. Trader-fueled lavish lifestyle running Singapore's largest ever suspected investment fraud. If you don't see any risk, ask who will buy the dip in a free fall. Record 33% of young Americans living with parents. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Magnitude 5.9 earthquake hits southern Iran. Ukraine-Turkey cooperation has its limits. India continues reporting record-high daily COVID cases. Gunmen kill 8 members of a family in Afghanistan. COVID roundup, India's record cases, no masks in Israel. Saudi, Iranian officials held direct talks in Iraq, report. Prince Philip funeral, Duke of Edinburgh laid to rest. South Africa regulator recommends lifting pause on J&J vaccine. COVID-free Australia in no hurry to open its borders. Chad's Debbie takes early election lead as rebels near N'Djamena. The next headlines are from Breitbart. USA Today, rifles used in FedEx attack were purchased legally. Blackburn, Democrat court packing push political convenience, they trying to play a little bit of bad cop good cop. Justice Department sues Roger Stone, alleging he owes nearly $2 million in unpaid taxes. Joe Biden now describes migrant rush on the border as a crisis. Mercer U Theology Prof's prayer, Dear God, please help me to hate white people. Head of New York City's elite Dalton School resigning after pushing obsessive social justice agenda. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis joins YouTube alternative Rumble following Google censorship. Exclusive videos, 300 migrants cross border into Texas. Video, 8-year-old raises over $1,300 for Children's Hospital and Animal Rescue. NYC murder suspect accidentally released over a month ago caught again. The next headlines are from UPI News. Philippine Coast Guard seizes 200 tons of giant fossilized clamshells. Family scenic route home from vacation leads to $777,777 lottery prize. The following headlines are from Earth Files, updates on Earth and astronomical mysteries. Bizarre beheadings, 21 seals found bloodlessly decapitated along Nova Scotia beaches. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. First human trial of HIV vaccine produced immune response in 97% of volunteers. This week's inspiring horoscopes from Rob Bresney's Free Will Astrology. Walmart commits to helping save pollinators by mandating change for supply chains. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Sunday, April 18th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. A bobcat attacked my wife. Security camera captures wild encounter in North Carolina. M&S faces backlash over plan to release 30 honeybees. How a common air freshener can result in a high-stakes traffic stop. Man who tried to fight grizzly bear in Banff National Park fined $4,000. A ship got stuck, so he built a website. What happens when 70 million people visit your joke site? Mississippi law will ban shackling inmates during childbirth. Students' heart failure linked to excessive energy drinks. Offbeat news. 7-Eleven is opening a drive-thru for quick Slurpees and tacos. Experience: I've had the same supper for 10 years. I have 2 pieces of fish, an onion, an egg, baked beans and biscuits. Being a farmer means every day is the same. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Here's why we should never trust AI to identify our emotions. New to computer vision and medical imaging? Start with these 10 projects. Big Tech is pushing states to pass privacy laws, and yes, you should be suspicious. The Mauro is the electric lawn mowing robot that liberates you from home landscaping duties. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Sunday, April 18th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA to attempt first controlled flight on Mars as soon as Monday. NASA astronaut Kate Rubins, crewmates return safely to Earth. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Man barricaded in Taylorsville house taken into custody after firing shots at SWAT team. Top-seeded Wisconsin overpowers 16th-seeded by win NCAA tournament. No new deaths and more than 15,000 additional Utahns fully vaccinated as of Saturday. Utah gymnasts postseason best score, take third at NCAAs. Extremely short-handed Utah Jazz throw the kitchen sink out there in overtime loss to Lakers. The triple team, Ersan Ilyasova shines versus Lakers, some thoughts about the Jazz's rest strategy. Watch out for wind and fire Monday. Charlie Brewer shines as Utah football's spring game returns following 2020 pandemic hiatus. The Tribune has been connected to Mormonism since its beginning, but as Utah grows more diverse, will that continue? Samuel Green, opposing abortion is truly loving and compassionate. The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. China and Huawei use dystopian new IP plan for 6G. Facebook urged to reconsider its plans for an Instagram for children. Slackware approaches 28th birthday with new beta release. A wave of tech workers transform Tahoe into a high-priced Zoom town. Happy 50th birthday FTP. Report, Facebook loophole lets world leaders deceive and harass their citizens. How OneWeb, SpaceX satellites dodged a potential collision in orbit. Student's first academic paper solves decades-old quantum computing problem. Linus Torv American League Division Series says Rust closer for Linux kernel development, call C++ a crap language. U.S. advocacy group launches online petition demanding protections for right to repair. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. One person in critical condition after shooting in North County. A pillar and stalwart, Charlotte resident and oldest living American dies at 116. Dutchtown residents concerned about police actions with minorities after fatal shooting between neighbors. Man shot in stomach in North St. Louis. Mayor-elect Jones to take office in socially distant inauguration. Officials warn of possible Legionnaire's disease exposure in Missouri hotel. Peloton treadmill could kill small children and pets, consumer agency warns. Person found in submerged vehicle in southeast Missouri dies. Passing of an era, royal family historian gives insight on Prince Philip's death. St. Louis teen arrested for murder of Lyft driver. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Woman killed, wounded husband arrested in Lemon Grove stabbings. Churches prepare for Sunday service without capacity limits. Two Twins Angels games postponed by Minnesota's COVID-19 woes. A pillar and stalwart, North Carolina resident and oldest living American dies at 116. Bet makes diving grab as Dodgers beat Padres 2-0. In Minneapolis, armed patrol group tries to keep the peace. This violence must end, calls for action on Capitol Hill after latest mass shooting. Push to vaccinate hardest hit communities in San Diego. San Diego reports 245 COVID-19 infections, 12 deaths. Consumer agency warns Peloton treadmill could kill small children and pets. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. Czech police hunt two men with names matching Skripal suspects. Russian Salisbury Novichok suspects linked to a Czech bombing. Robots, worms and satellites, how do you fight a cyber war? The Courier movie panel, bringing history to screen. 7 killer tricks for your Pixel phone's camera. Who won 1983's Battle of the Bonds, Connery or more? Queen Elizabeth, in deep mourning, arrives at husband Prince Philip's funeral. Mission: Impossible 7, an updated cast list, including Tom Cruise, Cinema Blend. High security warning issued for WhatsApp by India's cyber agency, threats detailed. Serious warning issued for millions of WhatsApp users. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Russia denies aggressive intentions that Ukraine fears. First rendering of buy systems OMFV emerges in social media. Hundreds of military helicopters scare Russians. XTEND delivers counter-drone interceptors to U.S. military. Japan's first RQ-4B drone completes maiden flight. Northrop Grumman secures $99 contract for advanced Hawkeye aircraft for France. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Sunday, April 18, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Deputy grazed, suspect killed in officer-involved shooting in Alameda County. San Jose police respond to 3 separate shootings overnight. Young male found dead inside Antioch garage. Oakland's new sideshow task force ready to patrol streets. Santa Rosa teen dies in head-on collision. Founder of Adobe and developer of PDFs dies at age 81. Fire burning new Highway 101 in SF causes delays. California CAF offers 50% discount to those who trash their masks. Peloton treadmill could kill small children and pets. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. U.S., China agree to cooperate on climate crisis with urgency. Rays beat Yankees 6-3, drop New York to L worst 5-9. Elgin mourns Chris Mao, fun-loving owner of Doctor Who-themed Blue Box Cafe. Grammar Moses, is it that was one too many? Facts matter, government won't require vaccine passport. Lake in the Hills first female police chief takes helm in July. Swiss billionaire gives up bid for Chicago Tribune. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.8 m, depth 10 km, in Islamic Republic of Iran on April 18, 2021, 6:41 UTC, 1,260,000 people within 100 kilometers. Green alert for tropical cyclones Yuragi 21, population affected by Category 1, 120 kilometers per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.6 m, depth 31.29 km, in Japan April 18, 2021, 029 UTC, 2,290,000 people within 100 kilometers. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. Drought is ongoing in Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in China, India, Nepal. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Sunday, April 18th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Stop using Peloton Tread Plus immediately, Federal Safety Agency warns after child death, 38 reported incidents. Chilly Sunday morning with a mild afternoon. Indianapolis shooting, FBI says it interviewed FedEx mass shooter last year, 4 Sikhs among victims. Why Kanye West's $1 Yeezys may become the world's most expensive sneaker. Harry, William seen chatting together after Prince Philip's funeral. Former Houston Texan tosses mansion onto market for $8.45 million. One reported dead after 25 people removed from unlicensed Rosenberg Group home. Retired Ohio sheriff and his tiny K-9 partner die the same day, hours apart. Here's why some are experiencing side effects after second Pfizer or Moderna vaccine shot. 500 migrant girls transported from Houston holding facility after reported incident. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Germany remembers nearly 80,000 dead in COVID pandemic. The latest, Israel lifts public mask mandate, open schools. Refugees win rare victory in Serbia landmark pushback ruling. ACM Awards to feature, most of, country music's top stars. Fashion industry evolves, as virus forces a rethink. No sweets, for Syrian refugees in Lebanon, a tough Ramadan. Spurs win 111-85, stop Suns' 10-game home winning streak. Co wins Lottie Championship with tournament record 28 under. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Coney Island's Mermaid Parade may return in the flesh this summer, organizers hope. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. Extra, vaccine clinics are where singles can go shoot their shot. New York COVID-19 vaccine rollout making steady progress, Cuomo says. Don't count your chickens just yet, critics fume over city's claims public review of Gowanus rezoning can begin next week. Detective caught allegedly using banned chokehold will retire without accrued vacation and OT pay. City-run COVID vaccine sites now open to walk-ins from New Yorkers who are 50 and older. How Martha Stewart, a Rockefeller and a liquor company already have a foot in NY's legal cannabis market. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Surviving a deadly outbreak of COVID-19 in a Lesotho convent. Colombia gives nearly 1 million Venezuelan migrants legal status and right to work. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Scientists report creating the first embryo with human and non-human primate cells. The eruption of the refugee crisis and the global push for vaccine passports. Liz Cheney was the primary culprit of spreading fake news on Russian bounties to undermine Trump. Hundreds of activists send Building 7 film to congressional reps. Russia shuts Ukraine's military access to Black Sea. Riots erupt across U.S. in wake of police shootings. Military bases housing migrant children plagued by serial sexual abuse claims. Biden isn't ending the Afghanistan war, he's privatizing it. Special forces, Pentagon contractors, intelligence operatives will remain. A school for spooks, the London University Department turning out NATO spies. Twitter promotes conservative doxing article based on hacked materials, violating own policy used to protect Hunter Biden. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. 4 Sikhs among victims of Indianapolis mass shooting. Was Adam Toledo a member of Latin Kings gang? Were castle scenes in Monty Python and the Holy Grail shot at just one castle? Did Mick Jagger come out as a lockdown skeptic? Did Gina Carano replace Chip Gaines as head of Disney Imagineering? Did William and Harry walk apart at Philip's funeral due to tensions? Is a dog will lick his butt but won't eat a pickle road real? Was Betty White slammed for having black tap dancer Arthur Duncan on her show? Should rubber bands be wrapped on doorknobs tonight? The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Tucker Carlson misleads on COVID-19 vaccines, masks. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Publishers are using ebooks to extort schools and libraries. The nonviolent sit-ins that desegregated Nashville's lunch counters. What it's like visiting Botswana right now. Derek Del Guidio's magic is so great it makes you want to cry. Samuel Little says he killed 93 people, why don't you know his name? Mochi ice cream has been my best snack discovery this year. The frustrating reason we're flying blind on new COVID variants. CNN's new morning duo eager to call bullshit in the AM. Chloe Zhao is making history, but Hollywood is still a nightmare for Asian women. The squishy sadness of the last moderate Republicans. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Jordan Montgomery undone by 2 homers in Yankees loss. Minnesota State Patrol updates guidance on reporters during protests. Knicks Julius Randle receiving All-NBA team buzz. Houston migrant facility for teen girls abruptly shuts down, report. Carlos Carrasco expected to make Mets debut in early May. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Seagull in the UK turned bright orange after falling into a vat of tikka masala. Louisiana residents gear up for highly active hurricane season. NASA astronaut returns safely to Earth after 6 months in space. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. No longer in shadows, Pentagon's UFO unit will make some findings public. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. More than 400 convictions involving suspected racist cop in Virginia could be overturned. 1 person killed, 5 injured in shooting at Columbus, Ohio, strip mall. Adobe founder Chuck Geschke, known for developing the PDF, dies at 81. The giant fish once dubbed Godzilla shark finally gets a name. CIT, World War II bomber makes emergency water landing off Florida beach, no one injured. Small plane crash lands in a pond at Florida Country Club. YouTube terminates channel promoting violent exorcism to cure LGBTQ people from the demon of homosexuality. Family of Indianapolis FedEx shooter apologizes, we are devastated. Czechs order 18 Russian diplomats to leave over deadly explosion in 2014. Brad Lander wins endorsement of Rep. Nydia Velasquez in crowded NYC controller race. The following headlines are from military.com. World War II and Korean War veteran gets escorted home in a 3-day funeral procession. Air Force One subcontractor countersues Boeing over delays. U.S. likely to up Afghanistan force to ensure safe drawdown. McClellan still swarms with soldiers, thanks to National Guard. Photos on UFO websites were shot by Navy personnel, Pentagon says. Super Corvette, former Navy Secretary reveals he pushed to rename littoral combat ship. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Blue Island woman dies after being struck by car. It was really a traumatizing thing, woman recounts being carjacked in Wicker Park with 2-year-old daughter in backseat. Frost, then snow by Tuesday, Mother Nature reminds us it's Chicago. Black Lives Matter Chicago leader says 20-year-old son was one of 2 arrested during Adam Toledo protest in Logan Square. Here's what you need to know about COVID-19 vaccines in Illinois. How to try to get a COVID-19 vaccine in Chicago. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, state reports 160,014 vaccine doses administered, 3,194 new COVID-19 cases and 23 additional deaths. Electrical issue possible cause for fire in O'Hare walkway famous for bright colored lights. As anger lingers, Adam Toledo police shooting video leaves Chicago with familiar questions about police tactics. COVID-19 in Illinois by the numbers, here's a daily update on cases, positivity rate and hospital data in your area. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Once again, volcanic Caribbean island looks to recovery. 2 Russian cosmonauts, NASA astronaut return from International Space Station. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Sunday, April 18th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Police, 3 dead, 2 wounded in shooting at Wisconsin tavern. 4 officers hospitalized after they were sprayed at protest. No sweets, for Syrian refugees in Lebanon, a tough Ramadan. Number 6 Washington and number 4 Oregon split softball twin bill. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Word Game, April 18th, 2021. Horoscopes April 18th, 2021, America Ferrera, revisit your dreams, hopes and wishes. Bridge, April 18th, 2021. Ask Amy, months later, I'm bothered by her response to my wedding. Dear Abby, I didn't realize what I was getting into with my distraught coworker. Warriors 1 Toscano Anderson enters league's concussion protocol. It felt like a playoff game, Steph Curry, Jason Tatum trade baskets as Warriors fall to Celtics. Vacaville police use spike strip to arrest Bay Area men in morning police chase. Teenager shot and killed at an Antioch home. Photos, Bay Area's first Topgolf opens in San Jose. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Florida company creates COVID-19 killing ultraviolet light. Florida Great Dane might be the world's tallest living dog. The next headlines are from The Intercept. As Biden continues Trump's war on asylum, danger mounts in the deadly Sonoran Desert. Local cops said pipeline company had influence over government appointment. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Sunday, April 18th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Heart patients advised to move more to avoid heart attacks and strokes. New amphibious centipede species discovered in Okinawa and Taiwan. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. 2 children among 4 hurt in Lakeshore Drive crash. Teen girl hurt in heart of Chicago shooting. Man charged with murder in West Pullman shooting. Woman fatally stabbed in Bronzeville, 1 in custody. Horoscope for Sunday, April 18, 2021. Bulls end 5-game losing streak, finally embrace urgency. Fire finally welcome fans to Soldier Field. Blackhawks hammer Red Wings after adjusting to shot blocking tactics. Pastor at Bartlett Church asked to step down amid child sexual abuse allegations. Sturgeon at Montrose, Tara Khan caught and released a lake sturgeon at Montrose Harbor. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Sunday, April 18, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are about world records making news. Olympic marathon champion and world record holder Eliud Kipchoge wins the NN Mission Marathon, the standard. Top 20 breaststroke king Adam Peaty has redefined dominance, Olympic Channel. Florida Great Dane might be the world's tallest living dog, U.S. News and World Report. A Grantham soldiers making a world record attempt in raising money in aid of veterans charities, Free Radio. Usbound Van Niekerk wins 200 and tittle, Mrs. Olympic mark, Anka. CSTE's David Abrahams sets American record in men's SB 13 100 breast, Swimming World magazine. Video, Dutchie breaks world record for toppling mini dominoes, IMX bet in the Netherlands. How a Domini teenager broke the half-pipe world record in Switzerland, about regional. Lung cancer charity needs dancers for world record, Isle of Man today. Mirabai Chanu sets world record in clean and jerk, bags bronze in Asian Championship, ESPN. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. U.S. federal investigators are reportedly looking into Kotakov security breach, undetected for months. Regulators urge Peloton Tread Plus owners to stop using treadmill immediately, and Peloton is pissed. Third date's the charm, maybe. NASA reschedules first Ingenuity flight on Mars for Monday. PlayStation 5 is now the fastest-selling console in U.S. history. Peloton resists federal safety recall for treadmill tied to child's death. Edward Snowden's NFT self-portrait sells for $5.4 million in charity auction. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Bernie in -Anconi at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was University WID in Dome Fuji at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. NASA says its Mars helicopter is ready for a historic first flight. Novel hydrogels can safely remove graffiti from vandalized street art. At 38.5% vaccinated, U.S. may be running low on people eager for a shot. DC's Rorschach, a detective walks into a world shaped by squids and superheroes. The following headlines are from Raw Story. QAnon Congresswoman blasts Rupert Murdoch's newspaper over incest story, shame on them. Indy FedEx shooter's family tried to get him help, instead he got assault rifles. Watch, Kentucky Republican brilliantly cornered on gun policy by CNN anchor Pamela Brown. Reporter cannot lift his camera after being shot with rubber bullet covering Brooklyn Center protests. Republican blasted for attending sex trafficking summit while refusing to return Matt Gaetz donation. Conservative cancel culture is why Marjorie Taylor Greene abandoned America First caucus. Boston's new mayor is not afraid to take on the cop unions, report. CDC's pause of Johnson & Johnson vaccines criticized as a deadly mistake. Medical examiner accused of covering up cop killing in Maryland becomes witness for Derek Chauvin. Pompeo and Huckabee top list of new fellows as Liberty University rebrands culture war arm. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Here's what a civilian climate corps might look like. Republicans, saying the quiet part loud, discuss plans for Anglo-Saxon Traditions Caucus. More than 3 million people have died from COVID-19 worldwide. Justice Department goes after Roger Stone, again, this time for $2 million in unpaid taxes. Leaked calls reveal Alex's secret plan to thwart Biden on climate. This commercial fishing technique is a climate catastrophe. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Scientists may detect signs of extraterrestrial life in 5 to 10 years, study, Hindustan Times. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Sunday, April 18, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. UFO images are real, Pentagon confirms. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Sunday, April 18, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News I8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News I8. All rights reserved.